Oh, that was really good.
It was.
You know what, Chelsea? Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, our premiere of Black Money Matters.
See you next week.
See you next week
on Black Money Matters.
Black Money Matters. Okay, you know what, Jamaica, stop. Nikki told us. We had recorded a show and you all weren't there. And we did not want to leave anybody hanging because this is so important. It really is because it's about self-care. It's about Black business. So if you're still there, thank you so much for tuning back in.
Thank you for hanging out with us through our technical difficulties.
Because what?
Black Money Matters.
And we were in DC and we said, oh, you know what? I know something really close by. We're right outside of DC. That's why we got here late. Because traffic was a bear.
Yeah, from DC to
Silver Springs, Maryland, right outside.
And then we had tech issues. But we're back and we are ready. And again, Mickey told us that we had gone through. We had a great show. We're gonna talk about it again.
Right, because we want you all to hear about this. And we're at Sculpted Body Studio. Chelsea Phillips is the owner. And so tell us about you, your business. How you got into this. Yeah, what is this? Okay. Tell them where we are.
So we're at Sculpted Body Studio. We're in Silver Spring, Maryland. So this is a non-invasive body studio. So we do treatments like fat loss treatments. We do cellulite reduction, skin tightening. We have a non-invasive butt lift. We have skin tightening facials. So just pretty much anything with the body, anything anybody has insecurities about. So, as women, just men and women.
Right.
Sometimes we have one part that just doesn't budge just with diet and exercise alone. So we have treatments. They last anywhere from about 45 minutes. The longest is about 2.5 hours, but we're doing multiple areas.
But you said non-invasive.
Non-invasive. So
I like that.
Everything, people do it during their lunch break.
Oh, so I could come on lunch. And get a little bit tighter.
Yes. People work from here. Everybody's working remotely, so people are at work getting their treatments done on Zoom calls. So
on Zoom calls.
Oh, wow. That's convenient. It's convenient.
It is. So you talked about, and I want to go back to the treatment, but I want to backtrack a little bit. How did you get started?
Right.
So I got started, it was an idea that I had maybe even 2 years prior to it from actually starting. But I have a weird story. I'm going to try to abbreviate that I didn't say the first time. So honestly, I felt in 28, it really started at the end of 2017. And I just felt, and I was in a place where my life, I just felt unfulfilled. I told my mom one time, I was like, this is not my life. And so I just really felt like I didn't feel like I was living in my purpose. I felt like I just was going. And so ultimately I ended up quitting my job because I was going to move to Colombia.
Okay.
The country.
Okay.
I had never been there. I don't know anybody had traveled there before, but it was a dream that I had. So ultimately I did not go to Colombia, but I did quit my job. And so that's when I said, this is the time to start this. And mind you, when I first had the idea, I thought that I needed like $50,000-$60,000. So I just really was like, what I have, I'm just gonna make work. And I think I told you guys earlier, I just said like, I'm just gonna give it 100%. I'm gonna focus on this one thing. I'm not gonna be distracted by other little side hustles. I'm gonna just, I'm investing in these machines. I'm investing in the training. And this is what I have to make money. So so I started actually, I got a one room suite. So Phoenix Salon Suites, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but Phoenix Salon Suites, it's a bunch of different suites. So it's barbers, it's hairdressers, it's nail technicians, it's a little bit of everything. People sell convenience store snacks out of some of them. So they let you rent a room for like a weekly amount. So especially starting a new business, you don't have any like business credit. Right. You don't have an established business. You're just,
And it's hard to get that seed money, that startup money for new businesses.
And they don't do a credit check, they don't do anything. They just say, okay, and if you don't pay your rent, they'll just lock the door by Wednesday. You pay it by, it's due on Saturday, it's late on Monday, and if they don't have it by Wednesday, they'll lock your door. So that's where I started. I was there, so still in this area. I was there for about 6 months, and then I moved to a retail location. So 6 months later, it got busy very quickly. Like my summer was booming. So, and I was just working so much. So now I was like, I need more space and I need help. I can't get to everybody. So that's what
I'm glad you told that, because when we walked in here, you're like, what? No, really, it's like, wow, this is nice. This is really, really nice. But people don't see what you had to go through to get here. So what were some of those? I mean, there were challenges. And what was it like, and being a female, a Black female?
So, yeah, I mean, and I think I told you guys the first run, I mean, the biggest obstacle is mental. You have this fear of failure. You feel like, okay, can I really sustain my lifestyle? I wasn't 21 when I did it. I was 29. So I'm accustomed to a lifestyle that requires money.
Right.
So, can I do it? So I think that's the biggest obstacle. Clients, I mean, I think, as I said, when you have a passion for what you do, and I do have anybody that knows me, I'm always researching things. I'm looking for solutions to problems. So I am passionate about it. I use it. I do it to myself. I do it to, friends. It's something I truly believe in is essential, honestly, as self-care.
So tell us, you talked about being inspired and sacrifice. And during the first run, you were telling people who want to start a business, about the importance of educating yourself on business practices. So can you talk a little bit about your business model and the book?
Okay.
Yes.
So, and I read this book end of 2021, so going into 2022. Okay. And because 2021, so I moved here in April of 2021. Okay. And when I tell you, business was booming. April, which is my birthday month, I feel like it's my lucky month. It's always, is it really?
Yes.
I always make the most money in April. So the whole year, I just was making money. I just, it was busy. I hired a really, really good person. I hired a third person. So I was really making money. But at the end of the year, looking at my accounts, it doesn't reflect that. So I read a book called Pay Yourself First. And it really just helped me organize just okay, this percentage. So, and how it really breaks down just the percentage. So on average, a brick and mortar location, you want to have at least a profit margin of 10%. So when it says pay yourself first, it's like you're making sure you're building that 10% in. So 10% of your gross income. So, and again, for me, because of COVID, I didn't have so much consecutive data of business. Because, you're here, then this happened, so I was working out of my house during COVID, so moving back here. So pay yourself first. So it just really helps to break down the percentage. And even for me, I was overpaying my staff by a lot. So, and just for everybody to know, you want to pay your personnel 30 to 33% of your gross income. So sometimes it's like, you're just paying them I like them as people. I want them to be happy, and I want to pay them well, right? But business doesn't reflect that. So you have to pay a percentage. You still have an operating cost. So it really helps break down the percentage. And I got really, 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 really strict. And I think I told you guys the first run, just even having your own business, sometimes the money doesn't have lines,
Right.
I'm gonna use this for my business account. I'm gonna use that, so you're doing your personal things. So 2022, I just got really, really strict of separating it, paying myself a salary based on what I worked. I had to change even for employees. So they were used to making a set amount, and I had to change it. So even with that, employee management, I mean, that's a course in itself. Just being effective, especially when it's your own business.
So what was the name of that book again?
Pay Yourself First. And
Pay Yourself First. It's highly recommended.
Highly recommended.
And we can put it in the comments, the name of the book, Pay Yourself First.
But I do want you to talk a little bit. You were telling us about some of these treatments.
So my most popular treatment is the fat loss treatment, and mostly people come to me wanting to target the stomach and the lower stomach. I think that's just a common something. So we do ultrasonic fat cavitation. So we're using ultrasonic gel transmitted. It's calibrated.
You're going to show us some of this too.
I'm going to show you. So essentially, and I think I told you guys, so fat cells, you don't lose fat cells when you gain and lose weight naturally, right? So your fat cells inflate and deflate, and they inflate with toxins. Toxins, we absorb them. You know, they're in our makeup, they're in our food, they're in the environment. So that's what inflates the toxins, the fat cells. So the ultrasonic fat cavitation and our fat loss treatments, they essentially open the cell membrane of the fat cell, and the contents inside are in your body. So naturally, when you leave here, you're drinking plenty of water. I think I showed you, I don't know if you caught that, the teas. So I offer complimentary teas just to help flush that out. But the goal is to drink half your body weight in ounces of water. So that's what the fat loss is. The skin tightening, we also use the ultrasonic gel. And the skin tightening is actually, it's heat. So it's transmitting heat through your body. So the gel protects your skin, but it essentially thinks that it's being burned. So just like when you have a burn, you get new skin cells. So it's boosting collagen that way. So heating which helps with just smoothness, tightness.
And you offer the massages and things for the ladies and gentlemen who've had like the surgery, like the BBLs and the liposuction and things like that.
Yes, and that's a big part. Just in terms of what like post-operative, so after they've had surgery, but then just even maintaining results. You know, lipo is not a fat repellent. You know, so it's something that you get done one time, and the fat can come back. So something to make sure you maintain your results.
And so, but something else you said, people do packages and a maintenance.
So
you can do all of those things.
So I mean, everybody is different. As I said, everybody has different goals. So sometimes, like, it may take 2 treatments for them to be satisfied, but it's something that people do continuously. So I have we call it a maintenance membership, and so you pay monthly. It comes out, you know, automatically, but then you have a credit of a treatment. So it just keeps people consistent, regular. Just even myself. I mean, you go through spurts, you know, like you're doing good, you're working out, everything's looking good, but maybe you had that week, you know, and then you get off, or you have a vacation coming, and you're like, you want everything to be. And I always tell people,
or you come back from your vacation because you said on the vacation, I'm going to eat whatever I want, I'm going to drink whatever I want, and I'm just okay. Come back, I'm back. Fix me. Help fix me.
I think that's such a good idea to have a maintenance package that you can pay every month, because it's like some people have. I have maintenance pack. I'm not going to tell you how many, but sometimes I'll be sitting at home thinking, oh. You know, I have all these credits. Let me order, and then it's kind of fun, and it doesn't feel like you're spending, you know, the money.
Yeah, and it is self-care. I mean, people really enjoy.
Self-care is important, and that was what we talked about. Was how do you take care of others if you don't take care of yourself?
It's impossible.
And so self-care. I mean, that's something that we need to incorporate more into our day-to-day lives, because we don't realize how important it is. And then we haven't done it, and you have a build-up.
Right, you put yourself on the back burner because you have these bills and that obligation. But really, like you said, if you don't take care of yourself, you're no good to your job, to your kids, to your relationships.
And self-care is also rest, you know.
Exactly.
Like, it could be watching TV.
It can be things. Yes.
Just allowing yourself that space, that time to really, refill your cup up. And you can't, and as I said, I realized when I started and just working, I'm just trying to get everybody in, but I need breaks.
Right, you need breaks.
And quick, one more thing before we go on the tour. You talked about giving back to other businesses and the importance of that as a small business owner.
So I think I was saying, so even at one point, I'm like, I don't have time to. In 2018, I did not get my hair done one time. The whole year, not one time. So after COVID and just, you know, being able to take that step back, I just made sure, and even so, the girl that does my lashes, she actually changed her times to match my times.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means that
that was a good idea of working together. Like
no,
that. It was.
because now I have the same time.
You're at
So
work when
I-
she's at work, so you don't have time to go.
And then she moved like maybe 40 minutes away. Mm-hmm. So she used to be close. So now Thursdays is my lash day. So I changed my hours. I mean, and I don't change my hours, but I block off. I get my lashes done every 2 weeks. And she's a great friend of mine now. I mean, you know, you develop friendships.
Right.
So, I mean, all my beauty treatments, I have such good, like, relations with them. Like, to a point where I'm really trying to get this, like, women in beauty, because we all go through the same thing.
Right.
And all of us, we're all, like, the girl that does my lashes, my hair, you know, there's other things now, right? But we all realize, like, we're all trying to focus on our self-care. Like, we all have to take care of ourselves, because it's like,
that's what I was gonna say. It's almost like a support.
and naturally you get people from them all the time. And then they come see you, you know, and it's not even like, oh, I'm gonna support you. No, it's like, oh, what you do, you know, my hairdresser had a baby. So as I said, she had this, I think I told you guys, so, you know, they don't tell you about making sure that you're not getting scar tissue when they're doing a C-section. They're kind of like in and out, you know?
Exactly.
So yeah, so she became a client and sends me people, you know. So.
But it's a way to support each other economically as well, and that's what we're talking about, is turning our dollars over in our communities. I know we're going to go on a tour, but when you're in the DC area, come here. I mean, really, come here. Sculpted Body Studio.
What's your address? Your address, your phone. If I was in DC for a week and I wanted to come get some treatments, or I moved here, how do I contact you? What's your address and hours?
Well, the easiest way is I do have an online booking system, so which is my website, www.sculptedbodystudio.com. But I'm on Georgia Avenue, 8701 Georgia Avenue, Silver Spring, Maryland, 8th floor, suite 806. But yeah, so we make our appointments online. It does get filled quickly, so hopefully when you're coming in town,
I know I'll be.
So when you say www Sculpted Body Studio, I noticed that you spell sculpted you with the. So is it spelled like CU?
So it is spelled like this, but no apostrophe on the website. So no E.
Okay. So sculpted, no E. Sculpted.
When you are in this area, you all should come.
No E, no apostrophe. Sculpted, no E, no apostrophe.
SCULPTD
Body Studio. Come see Chelsea.
I'm gonna see you.
I think we'll tag it on the comments just so people don't have to write it down.
Right. So yeah, we'll tag it. We'll tag the information. Make sure you come and see her. I know a lot of people come to DC for business work, for business, for pleasure, for conferences and things like that. Put this on your to-do list. Sculpted Body Studio. Come see her. Come support her. Come relax. Get away from the conference
and go home a little more sculpted. That's what I'm gonna do.
And just keep in mind too, so I always tell people now, so when you do a fat loss treatment, there's no alcohol for 3 days. So if you're having a turn-up trip, come at the end of it. So
that's right.
We'll detox. We have detox treatments. Get the liquor out, but yeah, no drinking.
That's good information.
Yeah. Because I do have. So we do it tomorrow. So I mean, right? I always tell people, if you have something you wanna, like, you're going on vacation, you don't come the day before your vacation.
Right.
If you're gonna be drinking on your vacation, so.
All right.
Well, can you show us? And can we start outside the whole
experience? I want them to see. I know, because when we walked up to that door, it was like, wow, this is really, really nice.
Right.
It's really nice. And so we want to help people when they're on the road that want to support Black businesses.
Absolutely.
We want to show them some of the Black businesses to go to. So when you're in the DC area.
And I want to say again, I know we got cut off early, but thank you all for
coming back.
Thank you all for being with us as we premiere. We talked about doing Black Money Matters across the country and beyond. And so thank you as we premiere here in
Silver
Springs,
Springs, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C.
So,
all right, so here we Sculpted Body Studio. We're on the 8th floor.
Suite 806.
Chelsea Phillips. I mean, wow. Did you ever think it would, when you think of where you started, and then we walk in here. And, and that was one of the things I did say. I was glad that you told people where you started. Because when you walk in here, you don't see the struggle that you went through. I mean, you don't.
You don't.
You walk in, right, and it's just a nice.
And she talked in the first video about how she took a training course. People think you go take a course and this happens, but there's sacrifice and there's things that occur.
Ooh, where are we?
So
What is this?
So this is our main room that we do the body contouring. So we have, as I told you, about the fat loss treatment. So we have the cavitation, the skin tightening. This is the radio frequency. I have here, we do electric muscle stimulator. So these pads go on the muscle and almost shock it. So you're contracting your muscle. So it's like doing crunches, or if we do it on the butt, it's like doing squats.
And how many crunches?
So in 30 minutes, you could do like 3,000 crunches. And it hurts, like you do crunches. Like it hurts. Every single contraction feels like a crunch. So I did do different training. So I went to, I did a wood therapy training in Mexico City. We also learned it in Colombia. So these are some Colombian wood therapy tools. So I love wood therapy. So this is something, it just really helps shape the body. It really does. And non-invasive, and not even using a machine. So it's like oil and it's technique, and even like, so I love wood therapy. I include it on every single treatment. We have, this is our laser. So even this bed, I think I said the first time. So this bed, if you feel it, you feel the stones.
Oh yeah.
It's not on right now, but this
you can
is
feel it.
jade stones that heat up. So the purpose of that, as well as the red light, is it helps with circulation. So it just makes the body more reactive to the fat loss treatment. So just circulating everything, because that's the whole purpose. We want to push it up in here. I have a detox bag. Which
we were looking at that. You remember?
I mean, I have to take it out, but it's something that so you sweat. It's a release, and if you do it after fat loss treatment, so with the lymphatic system, all the fat that we break down comes out through your urine, your bowel movement, and your sweat. So that can follow a fat loss treatment just to help release and get faster results.
All right.
Yeah. I do non-invasive butt lifts. That's another popular one. I mean,
non-invasive butt lift. You all hear that, ladies?
Non-invasive butt lift. So just in terms of lift, I mean, I always tell people after 25, I mean, you're losing collagen. So if you have a butt, if you don't have a butt, it drops. So
either way.
We want them nice and lifted.
Yeah. So we shape it, we sculpt it, and it's something, just like the gym when you're building muscle, it's something that you do have to keep up. So either you do it, you keep up with it at the gym, or do the monthly maintenance here.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, because everybody's busy. We don't always have time to be going to the gym all the time. So this is something that just.
And sometimes you need to do something a little different anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you go to the gym, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna skip that. Let me just go do this because. Right.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
So that's what I was.
And exercise is really something that activates the treatment. So it makes it work better because it activates your lymphatic system.
Okay. Wow. Now, how long have you been here?
So I've been in this building. So the business is 5 years.
Oh, that's okay. In this space, that's what I mean.
In this space, I've moved. Oh, yes. So
doing this, that's just.
I moved here after. So as I said, I was working out of my house. So those are one of the sacrifices you make with the business. To keep the overhead low. We didn't know COVID would be so long, but I was working out of my house for about a year.
Okay.
Which was wonderful, but you need the separation.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
A year was good. So I moved here April 2021.
Okay.
So and I have 2 other people. So I have and we can show this room. So we have an esthetician who works out of this room. Wow. So she does hydrofacials, chemical peels, different things like that.
It's a relaxing room. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the hydrofacial machine.
I mean, we had a vision to do this, and they got it.
Not sure this room right. And then we have, so we also have a licensed massage therapist here as well. Her name is Jay. She's excellent, excellent. So she does the deep tissue massages. She does Swedish massages. Like she has gifted hands.
Okay.
So she's
gifted hands.
She even good. Like her hands are almost like wood therapy.
Really?
Like she even like can break down fat like with her hands and push it out with her hands. So she's really good.
Okay. So what else do you want to do? I mean, because I'm sure you seem like you want to just continue building and adding. What are you thinking?
So it's still, I mean, this is something new. So, but I really, you know how we have like fitness clubs, right? We have LA Fitness. There's so many. We have Planet Fitness. We have so many things. But I really want a wellness club.
Okay.
And in this wellness club, as I said, I think they focus on, just like working out.
Right.
But wellness is so much more. So I really want like just, the salt rooms, the steam rooms, but something just like the amenities just to help, the cryo rooms, even just with like, athlete recovery, but, so just to focus on that. And I think sometimes we miss that aspect. Massages are important.
Right.
And I'm so thankful for Jay because your body, even bodybuilders need workouts. Like when you're building muscle, there's fluid that gets trapped. There's an acid that literally releases that if you don't get that pushed out, it's going to build up and you're not even going to see your muscle definition. So every single bodybuilder knows that they need massages. So but we need it too. We have tension, we hold it. Like it's just so important. So as I said, that's my next venture. I like going to spas, but my favorite part of the going to the spas is really like using the amenities, like the salt rooms, the gold rooms. There's the infrared rooms,
and those are a lot of times people will think that part's not important. I did my workout and miss those amenities that really enhance what it is you're there to do. This is wonderful.
Really wonderful.
I know it.
Is there anything else that you want to tell our viewers?
So my advice, just anybody that's starting something, for one, I think that the passion or just the belief, I think just even kind of the purpose, and I'll even tell you guys, just even remember I read that book in 2022, going into 2022, I was so focused on the money that again, I was almost losing why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it took me even through the summer, again, I was kind of going through a phase of unfulfillment. But I'm not doing this to I want to make money. Obviously, you want to make money. But you can make money doing anything. But you're making money, why? So it had to kind of bring me back to my purpose. So the purpose is so important. Why are you doing what you're doing? And that purpose and just kind of remembering that led me to really kind of reassess a lot of things that I did. I redid treatments. I redid my website. I just kind of researched just to have different things. I have so much better results now because I changed the sequence. So much better results. I have instant results now. Just because, but again, I just had to kind of, as I said, what is my purpose? My purpose is to help people feel more confident, to feel better. And not necessarily everything is going to go away, but I think with any insecurity, once you start seeing results, it doesn't become so much of an insecurity anymore. So I think that's important. So purpose is important. So, and then focus. Your mental is going to be your biggest block. And just sometimes we don't realize the self-talk that we have to ourselves. There's another book I recommend. It's called Reparenting Yourself. But so basically in the book, it talks about whatever your parents did, and I hope I'm not getting too off, but basically whatever your parents did, if you said, oh, my mom didn't listen to me, whatever, but you have to reparent yourself. And how I took that with the business is sometimes you have to reboss yourself. I was, at one point, I was treating myself like my worst boss. I had the worst boss ever at one point. And I was treating my own self like that. No time off, work so you have a lot of control. You have a lot of control. And I think that's why really I recommend business ownership for women.
And Right, and I'm so glad you said that business ownership, because that's, and we're talking about building generational wealth. So,
and how we, because one of the things we talk about on Black Money Matters is how we were building generational wealth and it was taken from us. So now we're in the process of rebuilding generational wealth, which is why we love talking to business owners, Black women business owners specifically. So.
But yeah, so I mean, as I said, when you have your own business, you create your values, you
Right.
create your mission, you create your stuff. So as I said, and I think we said the first time, you don't necessarily have to go through the same trope of the man-dominated workforce. You create your stuff. And as I said, we almost have to get out of that. And just like for Black people, sometimes, you know, like instead of equality, equity, it's like we have to go through different things, but we can still have higher results.
That's right.
So we can never think, oh, if we don't have this bit, if I didn't get this loan, I won't be able to do the business. No, you just have to figure out your own way.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And those were good closing remarks,
were.
and those were good things to let people know. And that's what we want to do, is leave people with some good information and some good advice. And some good information and some good advice is when you're in the DC area. When you're in the DC area, come to Sculpted Body Studio. Chelsea
I have one more
Phillips.
advice.
Tell them.
One more advice is, in probably in any way, but you always have to just keep learning. I think
that's
that
a
is
good
really
one.
important. I mean, if something is your craft, like you should always be, you know, researching,
Honing
learning, reading different books. As I said, we can always improve. You know, just even doctors, they have to have how many
Continuing
hours
education.
continuing education. But in any craft, whether you have a job or anything,
Right.
you always have to be just fine tuning.
And she's been fine tuning. Thank you
And
for opening up for us.
We can see you
Right.
fine tuning.
Yeah.
Thank you for opening up for us. Thank you for coming in after business hours
To show us.
Thank you for being our guest on our premiere episode of this season
Black
of Black
Money
Money Matters. Thank you all for joining us.
No, and thank you for your patience. We appreciate it, for hanging in there to watch Black Money
to
Matters.
support. Tune in next week for Black Money Matters.